Hey guys, Grumpsy here, just checking in. Wanted to make a quick video to update everybody on season 4, which is coming out at the end of April, in a couple weeks here. A few people have asked for my opinion, even though I'm not currently playing the game, so I thought I would make a video here. I've been keeping up to date on Resto Shaman, and I do actually plan on coming back for season 4, at least at the start. I will be slamming on the Arsham, as I always do, and if it ends up being a piece of garbage, then I'm gonna stop. But we'll see how it goes. I want to make this video to talk a little bit about what's coming up here. A little interjection here. Forgive me, I'm using some season 1 footage that I have still on my computer. You know, don't judge me, guys. I'm busy these days. Anyway, first of all, I think Resto Shaman is going to be pretty good. If you don't know yet, we are getting our season 1 tier set back, which I thought was actually the best tier set of the expansion, and some people are going to disagree with me. And the tier bonus, if you've forgotten about it, is this one right here, where you will get extra effectiveness on your critical strikes. That's the 4 set, and then the 2 set I think is just more crit chance. Regardless, this is certainly way better than what we have right now, which is the Tidebringer, which, as I've made a video about before, it's just not really doing anything. The other thing I wanted to talk about today is not about season 4. It's actually about the next season, which is going to be in the War Within, and of course, it's these hero talents, which were released about 3 weeks ago at this point, so there's been plenty of videos made on these. I think, people have talked enough about them that I don't need to go into too much detail. If you haven't seen them yet for whatever reason, it's all here on Wowhead and on the Blizzard website. And we are still waiting for the other shaman tree to be released. Right now we have this Farseer, which is the elemental / resto tree. And I'm going to talk about this in a second. So we are waiting for the resto / enhancement tree, which has potential to be interesting. It could be like really totem based. It could be very creative. It could also be not creative because the people developing Shaman have not shown themselves to be very creative recently. And I'll get into that in a second here when we talk about the Farseer tree. But we are still waiting for the other half of the tree, which could be very interesting. So I'm an optimist. I hope it's interesting. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, let me just briefly get into this here. I don't want to take up too much time here because it's just kind of an update video I wanted to make. But so the Farseer tree, which some people are calling Grandpa Gamba, which I think is fucking hilarious, by the way. This picture, old shaman grandpa gambling on getting the procs from the ancestors. That would be that's a pretty funny image to me. But yeah, so Grandpa Gamba here. You can read all this on your own if you haven't yet. But essentially, the gist of it is we're going to be calling ancestors, which are little basically minions next to us that will not echo our spells, but when we cast a healing spell, they will also cast some sort of healing spell. It says similar spell here. We don't know what that means, right? There's no numbers yet. We still need the details. I guess from a bird's eye view, I don't think this is nearly as bad as many people are making it out to be. Of course, as I just said, we do need the numbers, but I do see a lot of synergy here. I see what they're going for. So you would call an ancestor, you have chances to refresh it and extend it and stuff like that. And then you have this hydro bubble here in the bottom right, where you would essentially be putting shields on people with these ancestors, right? When an ancestor expires, they cast hydro bubble on a nearby injured ally. So you can picture maybe 3 or 4 ancestors out, or 2 or 3 or something like that, and you get kind of extra passive healing from all of that. And if the numbers are good enough, I keep repeating this, if the numbers are good enough, this is going to be really good. It's going to be kind of an interesting buffer to a lot of the gaps in Shaman's healing, I think, which is going to be interesting. Now, it is all very passive, which is 2 things. One, it's kind of boring, and two, it's a little bit of RNG, which is not usually good. It's not usually what you want as a healer, right? You don't want to have a lot of RNG as a healer. You want something kind of under your control, very responsive, flexible, and fast. That's what you want as a healer. That's why, Mistweaver is so strong, for example, right now. It's very reactive and quick. And this kind of passive rando healing is not necessarily the best. But if the numbers are good, this is going to be really good. This Hydro Bubble, I think, is going to be quite strong as well. Some of the drawbacks here, it's just not very exciting, especially down here. We have this, they call this a capstone talent, I think. When you think of a capstone, you think of like a new ability, something like a laser beam or some shit, like something really cool. And basically we just get an update to ancestral swiftness, or to nature swiftness. It's just incredibly boring. They need to do something with this, and I think they might if enough people are talking about, some of the talents here. Like this one is really, really just silly for Restoration Shaman. Like no one is ever going to care about this. There's an enchant you put on your chest that increases maximum mana by like 6%, I think. Nobody ever uses that, right? So this one I will complain about as well. This is just not a capstone talent that has any relation to what they're going for here, which is the ancestors. So I don't know why this is here. This should be somewhere else. And then they can put another thing here, like, you press a button and like 3 ancestors pop out. I don't care, but it's got to be cool, and it's got to feel good and look good, and have something to do with the ancestors. Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is the defensive here. Now, Nature's Guardian, this one is we don't care about this, right? Nature's Guardian is the passive that heals us up every like 45 seconds when we dip below 50%. So this is just so minor, reduces the cooldown, and it causes it to heal by an additional 5%. We don't need this. We need an external cooldown or a defensive. So this bottom one here is actually interesting to me. It says Earth Shield has an additional 3 charges and heals you for 25% more. I wish it didn't say heals you for 25% more. I wish it said reduces damage taken. Anyway, 3 charges. So I'm trying to figure out if that means, because currently it has 9 charges, right? So it would have 12 and heal you for 20% more. It's not great, but it's not nothing. I do wish in the defensives here, they should just have something for Astral Shift. I don't know why they don't. That's our best defensive, and we want it. We want to use that. And if they can just like please give us some sort of external cooldown. Like, what if they had a button here that said the damage reduction from Earth Shield? I forgot what the talent is called. It's the one above Ascendance where Earth Shield reduces damage taken by 6%. Why don't they have a button here where that value is doubled for 12 seconds? So now instead of 6%, it reduces damage by 12%. That's a real external cooldown. You press, because you have Earth Shield on 2 people, right? You press that button, suddenly 2 people are taking 12% less damage. That's an external cooldown. Like, can we please just have that? Like, it's not that difficult to design, right? So those are my complaints, right? This one here, and this defensive, which is just useless, and this maximum mana thing, which is also useless. Everything else is pretty cool. It's a little bit passive. That's the right word to put it. It's a little bit passive. So I am waiting to see what the other tree is going to look like. Hopefully it's more active. And again, I'm picturing, I'm just creatively thinking here that we could have a very interesting play style with like totems and I don't know, enhancement BS and resto at the same time. It could be really interesting. So I'm excited to see. Oh, I didn't talk about this here. This one here, Riptide gains an additional charge and heals for 5% more. Now, let me actually talk about this. I forgot to mention that it's possible they are trying to push us towards a faster playstyle, a more haste playstyle because, you know, this is going to give us 3 charges of Riptide, which I believe we can't even. It's already like too many, right? So you probably wouldn't take Echo of the Elements in that case. You would just take this instead. So, you know, we'll see, but it's possible that they want us to cast a lot of Riptides, get a lot of Ancestors, and kind of turn us into a more haste playstyle. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm excited about this. I'm not very excited about it, but I'm kind of excited about it. I want us to have one flashy button. If they can make one change, just give us a flashy button, like make a healing rain, you know, 100% larger or something. Something that looks cool and feels cool to press. It's a video game, guys. Blizzard, please make Resto Shaman a little spicier for everybody. Like, thank you. And then again, I'm waiting for this totemic. Could be really interesting. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for me. I just wanted to make a short video here to kind of update everybody, kind of say hi to everybody. It's been quite a while, and to tell people that I will be back for season 4, hopefully making more content than I did this season. Yeah, so please leave me comments below if you have anything, anything you're excited about for next season. Let me know definitely what you think about the hero talents. I will also say that Blizzard has asked for feedback. They've asked communities for feedback. They've asked, people in class discords for feedback and things like that. And so we should, as a community of Resto Shamans, we should theory craft and give feedback to Blizzard and just pray that they take it. And I know there are people doing this, but there are other specs in the game where people are theory crafting and giving a lot more feedback to Blizzard than we do. And so I think as a community, we really, like, the more we press, the more Blizzard might. I'm not going to say will. They might hear us. They might just hear us in the distance in like a muffled tone. We'll see. So leave your comments here. And hopefully we get something cool next expansion. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. So I will see you all next time.